tired too, huh? Tired of feeling like you have so many great ideas that come to mind and then you end up falling short to things like lack of discipline and lack of consistency. In my last upload, Create a Game-Changing Tactical Plan and Change Your Life in 6 months, I told you guys that the best approach to doing your goals, in my personal opinion, I know, but the best approach is to define your goals as much as possible. Put those goals in a strategic plan, and then from there, you create this tactical plan or tactical actions that'll give you the actions that you need to do every day in order to hit those goals. But what if you can't define your goals? Like, what if you're a person that has so many different ideas and so many different goals that you want to do, but you can never just stick to one? How do we reel that in and come up with a plan that we can actually start with to execute those goals? That's what we're going to cover today, because I definitely used to be that girl, okay? I was the one that had so many ideas at all points of time during the day. 1 minute in breakfast, I wanted to start this idea. By lunchtime, I was over here in another idea, and I would start things and stop them constantly all the time, and I could not stay with one thing long enough to make it successful. Welcome back, my loves, to another video. Y'all already know we are getting into the topic of creating a goal scorecard. I am a very visual person, and actually at the time that I was really trying to sort through my goals, I did not have this, but I created this for you guys to kind of walk you through the process of what was going on in my mind at that time that has helped me build consistency, dedication, productivity, all of those things that are helping me actually reach the goals that I have set in place for myself. As always, if you guys want to see style content, beauty, hair, makeup, which I've been slacking a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But if you are into that kind of content, definitely make sure that you are following me on my short form platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, if you want to see that content, because y'all know here on YouTube, honey, we are keeping it all about the conversation. So let's go ahead and jump in. The very first thing that we need to do in order to create this goal scorecard is we actually need to write down our ideas, or write down the list of goals that you have in mind for yourself. Now, this is the time to be totally random, okay? I want you to write down whatever comes to mind, literally. Like if you're a lash tech, but right now you want to learn how to fly paint a foot. Yeah, we're not doing this today. We're not doing it. If you're a lash tech and you want to learn how to fly a plane, baby, write down that idea of flying a plane. I don't care how outlandish it seems, whatever idea you have, I want you to write it down. And here's the thing, don't try to make sense of your ideas. Don't try to make sense of your thoughts. That's not what the goal here is. The goal is to just simply write them down and get them out of your head and onto the paper. And don't worry, you don't have to put them in any specific order, because we're going to organize all of these in just a moment. I am going to give you 15 of some goals and ideas that I had for myself, just things that I wanted to do over the years, things that have crossed my mind at certain points of time. So I went ahead and made a list that I want to go ahead and share so that we can, utilize it for creating this list and scorecard that we want to do. So first up is business 1, and 2 is business 2. So I have 2 different ideas for businesses that I want to have outside of just doing YouTube and content creation, because baby, we gotta have some extra streams of income, because y'all see how the economy is. So yeah, business 1 and business 2. My third thing on my list is to leave corporate America. Number 4, complete my degree. Number 5, YouTube 100K plaque. Number 6, create content full time. Number 7, buy a house. Number 8, buy my first dream car, because yes, I have several cars that I will buy over the next several years. So we're gonna start with buying the first dream car that I want. Number 9 is to become a sought after beauty and style content creator. Number 10 is to be invited on a brand trip. Specifically, I want to fly first class on a brand trip. Number 11 is to get my gold plaque, that 1 million subscriber plaque on YouTube. I want it. And wrapping up the list, number 12 is to pay a specific amount of debt. 13 is to go to Thailand. 14, write a book and become a New York best-selling author. And number 15 is to invest in property. So those are my 15 ideas / goals. I'm going to use those words interchangeably today, but those are the 15 things that I have written down. As you can tell, they are in no specific order, okay? I just have gotten them out of my head and onto the paper so that we can move on to the next step. So next step in the goal scorecard process is to mark each of these ideas with a 1, 3, or 5, and you guessed it, that is based on a 1-year goal, a 3-year goal, and a 5-year goal. So this is where we take that list that we've just created, those 15 things, and now we're going to actually make them into a streamlined process so that we can actually achieve these goals that we have now written down. There's only one thing that I want you to keep in mind when you are marking your 1, 3, and 5-year goals. Does this idea need a prerequisite? So do I need to do something first before I can actually turn this idea into a goal and actually hit it? So let's go ahead and go back to my list. So number 1 for business 1, that first business that I want to create, I have that marked as a 3-year goal. For my second business, I have that marked as a 5-year goal. Obviously, I don't want to start multiple business ventures at the same time. Tried it, failed it, and I have learned my lessons. Number 3, leaving corporate America. That is a 1-year goal for me. Completing my degree, we have it 3 years. Hitting that YouTube 100K plaque, y'all already know. I have talked about that several times. Honey, we are hitting that in 1 year's time, okay? Content create full time. Obviously, I want to do that simultaneously when I hit and build my brand on YouTube. So we have that marked as a 1-year goal. Buy my house, I have as a 5-year goal. Buy my first dream car, I have as a 3-year goal. Really, it's probably like a 2-year, but since I don't have 2-year, we're gonna put it at 3. So become a sought after beauty and style content creator. I have that listed as a 3-year goal. Be invited on a brand trip with first class flight. We also have as a 3-year goal. Get my gold 1 million YouTube plaque is also a 3-year goal. Pay a specific amount of debt in 1 year. Go to Thailand. That is a 5-year goal for me. Write a book and become a New York best-selling author. That is also a 5-year. And invest in property. That is a 5-year. Although it could really be like a 3-year goal for me, but for the purposes intended, I went ahead and just did it as a 5-year goal. So now we have our goals at least organized to know whether I want to complete this in a year, 3 years, or 5 years. We're getting a little more organized now, which brings us into section 3, or the third thing that you want to do is to actually create your roadmap. I have taken these very random ideas. I have jotted them down. I've organized them. Now it's time to put them onto a little line graph so that I can actually see a graph for the first year, see a graph for the 3rd year, and see a graph for the 5th year. Seeing this list of ideas turned into actual goals and seeing them categorized, seeing them time-stamped with the 1 year, the 3 year, the 5 year, that makes me more prepared. It makes me excited, and it just gives me a visual of the things that I need to do in order to hit those goals and become successful in those areas. It's at this point that you can take everything that I put into the other video, creating a game-changing tactical plan and changing your life in 6 months. This is where you would implement that. Like I said, we have our 1 year goals here. We have them listed out. Now you can break that down. You can break it down to 6 months. You can break it down to 3 months. You can keep it at a year. You can do 9 months. Whatever works best for you. Now you can implement that strategic plan and create those tactical everyday actions that you need to do in order to hit those goals. So if you have not checked out that video, I highly suggest you check it out, because you want to get those tactical actions in place so that you can actually do what you need to do to reach these goals. Also, I want to point something out here. Remember, I said when you were organizing your ideas that you needed to ask yourself if this is something that needs a prerequisite. I asked that for a very specific reason. I wanted you guys to keep that in mind, because obviously we are going to have to do certain things first before we can reach other goals down the line. For instance, me losing weight. I don't need to do anything prior to that. I just decide in that moment, I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to lose this weight, and I simply just do that. Same thing applies when it comes to being financially well-rounded. There's no prerequisite that I need in order to do that. I simply just decide, hey, I want to get better with my finances. I want to build my credit. So I start learning about how to invest. What are stocks? What are bonds? I can start learning the basics of investing and start understanding what it means to diversify a portfolio. Then I can start learning about what are the best accounts to have. Should I have a regular savings? Should I have a money market savings? So now I can get a little bit more in depth and build me a strong foundation when it comes to financial literacy overall. If you have a similar goal of, being self-employed, leaving corporate America, all of that, there's really no prerequisite for that outside of making sure that you set yourself up financially, because you don't want to up and quit a job unless you know that you have some kind of stable income to support yourself during this time. It's not necessarily a prerequisite, but you definitely want to make sure that you save some money up and make sure that you're in a position to leave that job. Basically, it's nothing majorly needed, like you would need all of these things to prep yourself for building a business and opening that business and that business running and thriving. It's not nothing like that. It's a simple prereq, but a prereq that you yourself can control. So lastly, let's go ahead and talk about planting seeds. Just because you have goals that are at that 3-year mark and 5-year mark does not mean wait until that 3rd year or that 5th year for you to get started. You need to start planting the seeds for those long-term goals in the short-term window. So I told you guys about being financially well-rounded. Obviously, I need to be financially set. I need that great credit score, excellent credit score. I need to have my finances under control to what? Go to Thailand, build my businesses, buy my house down the line. Think about what you can do first. Like I said, becoming financially well-rounded is me laying the foundation and planting those seeds for what I'm trying to do in the long term. Overall, you'll notice that a lot of your goals are connected in some type of way. And if you just sit there and jot them out, get them on paper, get that visual so that you can see what you need to do first in order to make those long-term goals happen. If I can talk today. I'm recording way later than normal. That's probably what it is. I'm probably getting tired. But anyway, that brings us to a wrap on today's video. I really pray that you heard something in this video that helps you to get on track with what it is that you want to do in your life and just get more organized and figure out a way that you can actually hit those goals. I'm telling you guys, I used to be that girl. I used to be so just all over the place with my ideas. At a point in time, I think I had 2 drop shipping businesses. I was trying to do a digital products business. I was still working full time. I was doing a lot of wig collabs at that time. I was all over the place. And honestly, that's probably why I burnt myself out the way that I did. It's about just getting focused and figuring out what do I need to do right now that can help me reach those goals down the line and just smooth sail into the sunset at that time. That's what you're working so hard for right now. And it just takes a little bit of focus and a lot of dedication and a lot of consistency. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, baby, if you liked this video. But y'all know what? Only do that if you like the vibes, okay? I tell y'all that all the time because look, I want you to be here because you want to be here. We're feeling the vibes. This is just, it's all vibes over here. So anyway, I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye, my loves.